Good evening everyone. I will going to discuss the introduction to contemporary literature, definition, characteristics, and historical context. Here are our objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students are expected to consider every aspect of contemporary literature through understanding its definition, characteristics, and historical context. Intensify their knowledge through recognizing various characteristics and historical context of contemporary literature. The next is connect their existing knowledge with new ideas generated from the discussion. So now, um, literature, a body of written works. The name has traditionally been applied to those imaginative works or poetry and prose design distinguished by the intentions of their authors and the perceived aesthetic excellence of their execution. So the written word is now in use of referred to as contemporary literature. It perfectly encapsulates today's spirit, complete with all of its complexities, contradictions, and uncertainties. It covers a wide range of genres, including anything from novels to poetry, short stories to essay. So the term contemporary literature refers to written works that were created after World War II. It reflects the concerns and issues that are relevant to contemporary society. So it explores themes such as identify, race, gender, class, politics, and technology. It often challenges conventional norms and values, pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable and what is not. So the next one is characteristics. Reality-based. Reality-based, this means grounding your story in the realm of possibility, while you can include fantastical elements or heightened drama. The core of your story should feel relatable and grounded in a sense of realism. So the next is believable storyline. So the plot should unfold in a way that feels organic and consistent with the characteristics and the established world. So the next one is current modern setting. So setting your story in the present day allows for immediate relatability, so readers can connect more easily with characters and situations that reflect their own experiences and the world around them. However, avoid overly specific details that might date the story quickly. So the next one is well-defined, realistic, highly developed, and strong characters. So well-defined give your characters distinct personalities, backstories, motivations, and flaws. Then realistic, make your characters believable, their actions and reactions should be consistent with their personalities and the situations they face. The next one is highly developed. So explore their inner lives, their relationships with others, and their personal growth throughout the story. So the next one is strong characters. So give your characters agency. They should be capable of making choices and influencing the course of the story. Avoid making them passive or solely reactive to external force. Then number 5 is well structured. A well structured story has a clear beginning, middle, and end. It uses spacing effectively to build tension, reveal information gradually, and create satisfying resolution. And the last one is character driven rather than a plot driven. In a character driven story, the plot unfolds as a result of the characters, choices, motivations, and relationships. So the focus is on their internal conflicts, personal growth, and how they change throughout the story. So considering English and Filipino contemporary literature characteristics. English and Filipino continue to the major of media literature. Literature as a venue for socio-political-economic, religious discussions. Then vehicle for personal thoughts and feelings has become more marked. Then literary themes covered a wide range of subjects such as existentialism and the search for identity in varying levels and setting. Then, next is historical context. So, historical context refers to the social, political, cultural, and economic circumstances that shape a specific event, idea, or narrative during a particular time period. Considering the contemporary period of literature, it directly occurred after the modernism period. In fact, it is often referred to as the postmodern period. So in the American contemporary literature, the events that brought to this era were the realization of the Holocaust and the power of the atomic bomb that wars America had with Korea, Vietnam, and the civil rights multiple qualities. Contemporary works often featured ordinary place and dealt with an awareness of itself from meaning, an interest in process. So a desire to revise the past and a desire to have fun. With the end of World War II and the discovery of the Holocaust and the atomic bomb, the American society became more abstract towards reality. Art displayed this new mindset as much as the literature of the time period did. So there was also a desire to revise the past and atrocities that occurred during both of the identity and wondering if there was any good left in humanity. So as technology continuously advanced, American society could better define who they were. So the next one is contemporary movement. So the first one is Black Mountain Poets, a group of writers centered around Black Mountain College in Black Mountain, North Carolina. So the group's influence lasts for around 23 years in the mid 20th century, from 1933 to 1956. So one of the most important features of their style was the concept of an uterance. So the writers only allow themselves to include in a line what could fit in a urethra of breath and uterance. So this meant that the poetic diction was altered and words were changed. So the next one is confessional poetry. So a style of poetry that is personal, often making use of a first-person narrator. It emerged in the US in the 1950s. Writers who were part of this movement included Robert Lowell, Elizabeth Bishop, and Sylvia Plath. So the next one is Beat Generation. So a literary movement that began after the Second World War II and known for its liberal attitudes towards life. So part of this movement were writers like Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac, and William Burroughs. On the other hand, Filipino literary contemporary period is characterized by the use of native languages as the main tool of literary expression rather than foreign languages. So the contemporary period began in the 1960s but truly began to flourish following the end of the martial law dictatorship in 1986. So the Philippines were first invaded by the Spanish in 1521, followed by the United States in 1898, and the Japanese in 1941. So the contemporary movement toward the use of native languages in Filipino literature was slow to begin due to the offensive martial law dictatorship of Ferdinand Marcos from 1972 to 1986. However, so the following end of the dictatorship, the Philippines undertook an effort to resurface their native language literary history. And the Philippine Commission on Higher Education made it obligatory to teach Philippine literature to students. So that's all po. Thank you very much.